Okay, I just got back from the pro shop. I got my arrows cut. I get them cut to the center of my riser. So anyways, I'm going to be adding the Easton hit insert. These are 75 grains, but if you break off the end of them, they're at 50 grains. So I'm going to go ahead and add 50 grains. I'll break all these off, and I'm going to add 50 grains to the front of each of these arrows. Okay, so the way I break these off, I'm going to take my pliers, grab the tip of them like this, and then I'm just going to push down, and they break right off, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all these. Okay, now that all these are broken off, this package comes with this little sanding stone. And the way this works is, the tip, there's a little divot on the top of it. And the arrow, that goes into the arrow. And then you're going to spin your arrow on that. And it just sands it down a little bit and squares up this edge. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all these, and then we'll jump right in. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, after I've sanded all of them down with a little stone, I'm going to just take a cotton swab, go in there, clean that out. As you can see, that all just came out of this arrow. So that'll prevent your glue from, or your epoxy from bonding good to the carbon. So you want to make sure you clean that out. Okay, so this is the hit insert epoxy that comes with your arrows when you buy them. So it says to go ahead and cut out, well, let me just push the glue down here for a second. So it shows to go ahead and cut out this triangle here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to fold this in half. And I'm going to I'm going to squeeze it all out, and then I'm going to go ahead and mix all the epoxy. So you have plenty of time to work with this epoxy. I think it said it had like a 90-minute work time, but you have to wait really 24 hours to shoot these for it to properly cure. So what you're going to do is, you're going to take an arrow. All you need to do is put a little epoxy on the tip of this. Just like so. I don't know how well you can see that. And all you're going to do is, you're going to go ahead and twist it as it's going in. Then you take your plunger here that comes in the thing, in the kit, push that straight in, and that is it. Wipe off any excess right there and set this off to the side. We're going to go here and do another one for you. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and insert this. I'm twisting it as I'm putting it in. That way it's pulling that glue in with it, those little ribs. A little bit excess there. Try and wipe that off. I know I said not to get it on my finger, but go ahead and take the plunger, push it in, pull it out, wipe off the excess. And you want to make sure you keep these flat when they dry. They recommend that just because the inserts can slide since this isn't a fast curing epoxy. So you want to be mindful of that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap these arrows now. It's been 24 hours since the inserts were put in, so I'm just going to show you how I quick do this. You want kind of a surface that has a little bit of give to it, like a mouse pad or notebook or something like that works really well. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this. What you want to do is you want to leave, you grab your arrow. I've already cleaned these, I've prepped them already. But what you want to do is you want to stay just a whisker shy of your nock end if you're using lighted nocks. You want to just stay a little bit shy. So what I do is I put my arrow down and I slide it until it catches the wrap. The wrap will move a little bit, and then I continue to have even pressure and roll. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. So that's where it caught. So then I'm going to go ahead and put continuous pressure, and I'm going to roll. Then after I have them on there, I run my finger down the seam, and then I kind of just press that wrap on there. Okay, these arrows are ready to be fletched now, so I'm going to show you how I do them. I'm using the new Nock-On Max 23 vein on these Easton Axis arrows. They're a little bit smaller of a profile. They're better for long range with crosswinds and stuff like that. So I figured these would be good for my like big game arrows out west, hunting mule deer and stuff like that. I did fletch up without any wraps on the arrows the Max 23 vein and the Max Stealth vein. They both shot really good. So I think I am gonna stick with the Max 23, the new one, for these Easton Axis arrows, and then when I make a dozen of the FMJ arrows, I'm gonna use the Max Stealth vein. So let's jump right in, I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so first, since I'm using these Max veins, I need to use the Max Weld primer pen. So you just take this felt tip, you run it down. That'll clean off whatever's, if there's any oils or anything in there. Let that dry for a couple seconds. And then I'm using the Max Bond glue with this also. So I just go ahead and put a thin bead down the vein. So then I snap it on there like this. I kind of hold that arrow because sometimes it slides up. Go ahead and put constant pressure down for about 10 seconds. This glue dries pretty quick, which is really nice. So after about 10 seconds, you can go ahead, pull that off. I like to try and line up my axis, the logo here, with where it knocks on the strings. That way it all kind of looks even. So go ahead and spin that. Take another vein. I have this marked, so my mark is 1.25 inches from the center of the nock to the start of the vein. So after I have the arrow fletched, I take these the Fletch type platinum, and I'll go ahead and do something called tipping and tailing. What that looks like is on the tip of the vein, I'll go ahead and put a dab of glue up here. This kind of just adds a little bit more protection going through animals or whatever.